What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here in our little neck of the YouTube. It's my friends. Another week in the books. Last week, not my best week relative to, I don't know, the smash fest that's been 2024 thus far. Just kind of some lackluster plays that just, I don't know. It wasn't even like a hindsight thing. It wasn't even like, oh, it's the night before and things changed dramatically. Just some guys didn't perform very well. Some guys performed very well. Looking at my Nikola Jokic under 46.5 PRA. But here's the thing. Overall, still feel good about the analysis. Still feel good about specifics about why it is that I'm factoring the plays. And obviously, Odd Chopper doing a lot of the work for me. It's a market-based approach. I'm combining it with stochastic projections and a couple of different things on my end. And overall, sometimes you just have a bad week. We hadn't had a losing week 5 weeks, so it was about time to happen for me. Obviously, could have had a couple of breaks here or there, really swing the complexion of my week. Had a good day on Tuesday, and then some weird stuff. So anywho, let's keep it rolling here, friends. NBA, we got 3 weeks until that was a weird way to put three. There we go. 3 weeks, my friends. We're heading over to the play-in tournament. That'll fire up, and then, of course, on Thursday, MLB, Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks will be fully operational, a fully operational Death Star. Looking forward to that, of course, for opening day. But producer Jacob's on hand here. That 365 is on hand. We'll talk about him later. Let's just get to it, shall we? 11 games. Yeah, I'm going to fly. I'm going to talk really, really fast. We got a lot of analysis here. We got a lock. We're feeling good. We're feeling great. We're feeling grand. How are you? Producer Jacob, let's get to the picks. And our tour begins with the Cleveland Cavaliers on a back-to-back, taking on the Charlotte Hornets. A couple of teams on back-to-backs here. I will be willing to clarify those for you. Cleveland's getting their absolute you-know-what pushed in by you-know-who. The Miami Heat, 104-66 in the fourth quarter as of recording this right now. That is not good. Well, it's good if you're Miami. Miami's starting to play ball at the time when they really start to play ball, which is now. Got Sam Merrill out there 0 for 5 from 3, just being a goober in closing time. Closing time, lock up all the doors, and probably going to have to rest Evan Mobley on the back-to-back, but we'll find out. Evan Mobley, though, made his return here. Didn't go well, friends. Maybe it went so poorly that they can just have Evan Mobley. You know what? He was playing in the fourth quarter. I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't think that he's logically going to play here on the back-to-back. That would be insane to me. Kind of makes me more interested in the game, but the main interest point I have right now is the under of 205. We know that Charlotte, one of the worst defensive teams in the entire NBA, but did you also know been bottom 3 in adjusted offensive rating over the course of the last month? So it's almost like Grant Williams wasn't the complete answer. Got Pokusevski playing lots of minutes now because they're just you got to take a shot on Pokusevski. If you're going to have nothing on your roster, you might as well play him 24, 26-ish minutes and see if that can pan out for you. Don't really blame them. And don't blame Oklahoma City, who has a roster that can win basketball games right now and it didn't fit into the landscape of things. But under 205, just going to be a lean for me. Not a ton of interest in this game. Again, 11 games. Let's go to the next one. Far more interest in this one. Boston taking on Atlanta here. 11-point favorites are the Boston Celtics. They're very good at basketball. Did you know that? If you didn't, now you do. Number 1 in adjusted net rating. Number 1 in my model. They have been for quite some time, like since the first game of the season. So that's cool. Victory lapping Boston being really good is like it's like the people on Twitter, on X. Bunch of minus 500 favorites together. Put 2 or 3 of those together. Ooh, I parlayed Purdue and North Carolina. Oh, I'm so smart. Well, it doesn't matter. You could find favorites that have edges like that. Again, positive EV betting, anything with an expected value. When we're talking about a market-based approach, it's basically comparing all the sports books and saying this makes sense, this doesn't. How about something that doesn't make sense? Peyton Pritchard, friends. This dude has been on another planet of late, and it hasn't mattered if he started or if he didn't start. He's finding minutes, and guess what? He is all offense all the time. There's really nothing else that he's bringing to the table because defensively, negative 1.5 EPM. We're talking 18th percentile defenders. No. You can watch Peyton Pritchard's game, and you can know pretty quickly, like, he is out there to only push it on offense. Push it. And 19.2% assist percentage has maintained even in starting units, even playing alongside starters like off the bench like last time where, again, you were just getting some of these assist totals. And shout out to my guy DK DFS. Does some great work over at Stokastic on a couple of the deeper dives here as well. Somebody that I've known for a long time in the Twitter streets and Well, we talked basketball back and forth, and one thing that I definitely picked up from him was Peyton Pritchard assist numbers. I'm going to be looking at some alternate totals, and plus 5+ that we're looking at here. Completely different role, 38 and 34 minutes the last two. One starting, one off the bench. Doesn't matter. It is just absurd what we're running into for this guy. So I'm calling it a lean lock. We don't have the number out here yet, but I mean, you were getting alternate totals of like 5.5, 6.5 with major plus money attached to it. Look at laddering it. Did you know Atlanta likes to play with pace? If you didn't, you also know that. You knew that, right? 6th in adjusted pace, 100.7 in actual raw pace, 100.7 possessions per 48 minutes. Oh yeah, 11 games, Eric. Keep talking. Next one. In this version's What Am I Doing play of the day, Detroit taking on the Knicks. And again, you put in the model, you update for the players, and guess what? We have James Wiseman in our lives here, starting for the Detroit Pistons. It's been a wild, wild ride. Gotta say, this version of the starters that came out on Sunday is just flat out laughable. It was just absurd. Detroit against the New Orleans Pelicans. They lose by 13. Again, cover the 16.5, just saying. But Marcus Sasser, Jaden Ivey, Troy Brown Jr., Chimezie Metu, and James Wiseman. Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, both sit. We have officially reached the end of March in NBA. Again, the second half NBA season stuff gets wild and ridiculous. But my guess, my feeling here is that Cade Cunningham, who played well in the Garden last time out, Jalen Duren, somebody who's dealing with back spasms, probably more of a true game time decision. You can get some news really break for you. And the Knicks, 206 total. We're talking a team that is very defensive centric. And offensively, they're not complete nothings. They're 13th in adjusted offensive rating, just playing completely through Jalen Brunson, as they should be. But as I look at just such a low total, a low variance basketball game, think of the NCAA tournament. It's something that I've talked about here on this program, not the NCAA tournament portion of it, but when you talk about fewer possessions in a basketball game, further into the shot clock, the variance, like the really high and low outcomes that are going to exist in a basketball game, they really kind of get the air taken out of the ball. And you're going to see a 206 total like this attached to 16.5 points. I mean, you're talking an implied total for Detroit that is way, way down yonder where nobody goes. So I'm just saying, this is a spot where I think Detroit is the value side. I almost made it lean like where it's like, hey, we can wait for a better number. But if I knew Cade Cunningham was playing, do I think I'd be getting 16.5 here? No, I do not. So I will wait on the injury report tomorrow. But I've already invested half a unit here, and I think it's a full bore like. So I almost said lock. It was like a Freudian slip there. It's going to get weird. But it is Detroit plus 16.5. Take it in the Garden. Run with it. And please just play basketball tomorrow, Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren, because I don't know if I can really stomach watching Marcus Sasser and James Wiseman lead me to victory. They're not going to lead you to much of anything. Let's talk Odd Shopper. Far less bleak here, friends. OS Premium Tools, Discord, or Inside Access. As we get further and further into this NBA season, there's less and less that I'm able to do the night before for you. I know that might seem a little bit obvious, but it comes down to this. If you have OS Premium Tools and content, you are ready to rock and find positive EV bets no matter what time of the day it is. If it's closer to tip-off, you're going to have the best bets on the board at the top of your tool there. If you can bet the night before as things are updating throughout, we can obviously get some more inefficient lines. And that is really what I'm here to do, is help you snipe some of those lines and add that to the OS portfolio. You then get the Discord insider access. I can talk about what changed. If there's anything that I was thinking about betting, if I pull the trigger on it, you get my betting card every single Monday through Friday. Yes, Sundays, kind of hit and miss. I ended up being in there, the last couple of Sundays here as well. It used to just be Sunday through Friday all the time. With MLB coming up, want to just throw it out there. Monday through Friday, there's no chance that you're not getting my betting card every single one of those. Sundays, I'm definitely going to be there at the beginning of MLB betting. And then, just making sure NBA, again, want to be firing those picks on Sunday for the people here as well before it gets crazy having bull sports going on here at once. $14.95 weekly, $49.95 monthly. Gets a little bit better when you use promo code Lindy, Lindy, 20% off. Yes, 20% off. So make that $12 for your first week to check out the expert picks, the premium tools, the Discord access, everything you could know and want and love. Again, I don't want to just provide you picks. That is not what I am here to do. What I am here to do is give you good, actionable information that can make you a long-term profitable bettor. And here at Odd Shopper, in conjunction with the tools, with our content, everything else, I believe we can accomplish that for you. And again, everybody's going to have different goals with betting. Some people want to parlay everything. Some people want to parlay nothing. Again, I'm more the nothing crowd when I can help it. But 20% off, friends. Use code Lindy. Back to the picks we go. We got the Nets. We got the Raptors. Oh boy, this is fun. A real fun one. It's kind of fun if you're Brooklyn, pace up spot, taking on a bad defensive front that has Bruce Brown, Gary Trent, Grady Dick, Ochai Agbaji, and Kelly Olynyk starting on a day in, day out basis. They brought in what? This is just the. Oh, I do have something here, but I want to talk to you about it. But Brooklyn side of things, we'll start with it. I almost pulled the trigger right from the get-go on an under for can't even say his name because I'm just tilted. Mikal Bridges, looking at the under of his rebounds, 5.5 is where I was looking at. I didn't end up pulling the trigger on it, mainly because there's a better play here on the other side of things, but I'm going to keep that one in mind. We'll see where that number moves to. Got it on the board. Again, one of the nice things you can do is you can add to the bet tracker over on OddsShopper. You can then watch as the lines are changing throughout the day. Keep those on high alert for yourself. Again, for me, it's just making sure that I'm giving you the best plays that I can from every single game. And that right now, I'm going to put it in the lean-like category because, again, some of these unders can look a little bit better closer to tip-off if people really want to be betting overs as much as what it would appear they want to. But Ochai Agbaji, looking at the Kansas product, a lot more minutes that he's running into coming from Utah over here to Toronto. A good change in scenery for him. Getting an opportunity to start Toronto last season, figure out whatever they want to do here. RJ Barrett out, Emmanuel quickly out. Gave a contract to Kelly Olynyk, Pajante Porter out, Chris Boucher out. That was a freak injury, obviously. Partial MCL tear. It was freaky to watch. But anywho, friends, I'm looking at Agbaji under because we're starting to get a pretty good baseline for what his minutes, his opportunity, and what his baseline rates are going to be here with the Toronto Raptors. And this is the one I had the most disparity on. You look at his defensive rebound rate, 9.3%. That's 15th percentile. He was down at 2nd percentile, 6.5% defensive rebound rate with Utah. He has zero interest in going in on the boards. Zero whatsoever. He also has the worst mid-range shot I've maybe ever seen in NBA. 23.8% from the mid-range. 23.8% from the mid-range. Whatever, 4.9% offensive rebound rate isn't completely abysmal. It would almost seem like all he cares about is scoring, and maybe offensive rebounds can help him get there. But you know what? Under 5.5 rebounds based on his baseline with the Toronto Raptors. I think it's a nifty little play. But again, put a lean like next to it because I know some of you don't want to take unders night before. And some of you want to wait for it. I totally get it. But at minus 105, what are you waiting for? Fire this up. To my favorite play of the day. Been looking forward to this one. As soon as this number popped, I fired it. It was lovely. But Washington, nearly double-digit dogs here taking on the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls, some interesting stuff that's kind of transpired with them. Kobe White was coming off the bench, like limited minutes, ends up starting here the last time out. So we don't really have to be thinking too much about that one going forward. I'm not going to be thinking about it going forward, nor should you. He is now probable entering this one. Got the minutes ramped up back to 36 against Boston, but after a week off, Houston off the bench, again, just trying to limit it a little bit there for him. Now, Alex Caruso, he is probable as well. He had an eternal Q tag next to him in recent weeks, and that always kind of freaked me out where I didn't know what we were running into. But we can guarantee that we were running into two things in this matchup against Washington. The first thing, you're running into the worst interior defense in the NBA, that being the Washington Wizards. You have nobody on the roster that is remotely capable of hanging with any remotely competent offensive big. They give up the most points in the paint per game, bar none. They give up they just play number one in terms of pace, as is in the entire NBA. So looking on that side of things, Washington, Kyle Kuzma at the 5, are you going to really go Kyle Kuzma at the 5 with Vooch on the other side of this one? Are you really? I guess it wouldn't really matter, would it? No. They'll probably have to go to Rashawn Holmes. Doesn't matter. Vooch is going to absolutely destroy here in this spot, which leads me to number 2. We have an opportunity to know that no matter what, you are going to have more minutes that have to be carved out for the combo of Caruso and Dosunmu. They are playing too well. They are too vital in all of these types of matchups. And that eliminates my concern that you've run into a Chicago multiple times this season, where you see Vooch sharing a floor with Andre Drummond in terms of that production. Now, I looked at the points plus rebounds market, and I will say, A little bit inflated here on the Vooch rebound side of things, which left me to just wait and see where the numbers landed here. And let me tell you, friends, it was a beautiful opener. Beautiful, beautiful opening number. 17.5 points for Vooch. What are we doing? Fastest paced team in the entire NBA. 18.2 points he averages per game. I've got him north of 20. I don't see how you could project him for less than 20 in this spot. It's my favorite lock in the last 2 weeks. Nikola Vucevic. I fired a unit and a half on this right from the get-go. You have to jump in on this now. It is only going to move north of this number. It's the best play on the board today. It's the best play that I've seen on the board in quite some time that involves an over. Again, I say that because there's a couple of unders that have been jams with the OS rating of late. But Nikola Vucevic, over 17.5 points. Get on it now before it is 18.5, 19.5. I'm going to be looking at alternate lines. Vooch destroys this front court on Monday. I'll speed it up on a like here, though. Portland taking on Houston. Interesting news that we ended up getting. I didn't even see the altercation. I was just completely, living my life on Saturday. Oh, God forbid. How dare I? It's probably the first. No, I definitely had bets still going because I had MMA going. I was telling some friends in MMA. Definitely had some NCAA tournament bets. I almost said that I didn't bet on Saturday. I definitely bet a lot of things on Saturday. Oh, my brain sometimes. Oh, yeah, back to analysis here. Portland, what I'm getting at is that we know that they have the most disgusting starting rotations here. Matisse Thybulle is going to be questionable for this one. Jeremy Grant's going to be doubtful. But DeAndre Ayton questionable. Pay attention because he's been playing some damn good basketball here of late. And now Jabari Smith gets suspended on the other side. I think we get a true start from Jock Landale on the Houston side to account for that one-game suspension. Cam Whitmore, Chris Dunn, we'll talk about him later. I don't know what happened between those two, but it's a whole thing. Jabari Smith. I saw Dylan Brooks get in somebody's face. I don't even know what happened with all this shit. What a weird time to be alive. Anyway, why am I backing Portland here? Oh, yeah, because I'm silly, first off. But secondly, I do think that this is a spot that's a little bit overvalued on the Houston side. Again, a more low variance type basketball game, 216.5, not a ton of possessions relative to other basketball games that you're running into here, but also Landale playing more minutes. I think this forces some interesting choices that Houston has to make with their rotations, and Portland, they'll just roll out whatever. We got a Ryan Rupert start last time out, Doo-Wop Reith, Doo-Wop. Yeah, he ended up starting out there as well, going up against whatever the fuck they were playing the other. I forgot. We're going to really see Reggie Bullock and Jeff Green play lots of minutes here on Monday because they're not good. Jayshawn Tate. What happened to him? He's not playing many minutes, but got him in for 18 now. Yeah, Jabari Smith not playing basketball. Matters. Jock Landale's been pretty decent. It's a great backup for the Suns last season on their run, but oh yeah, Portland plus 9.5. That was the play. Good times. Nothing like having Detroit plus 16.5 and Portland plus 9.5 on the same card. Producer Jacob is shaking his head at me. Why? Do you not love value? I'll show you value. Bet 365. The best value on the board tomorrow, friends. Bet 5, get 150 in bonus bets in one of these 10 states. Again, Bet 365 in 10 states currently. We're talking Colorado, Indiana, Iowa, New Jersey, Virginia, Arizona, Kentucky, Louisiana, and of course, Ohio, and of course, North Carolina, the newest of the sportsbook partners here for Bet 365. Again, another state where you have access to it. North Carolina, sports betting went live there, 2 weeks ago? Beautiful stuff, friends, beautiful stuff. Sign up, get your dollars, 150 of them, in fact, in bonus bets by betting just $5 on anything. Fire it up, friends, at the link below. They also have the first bet safety net up to $1,000 in bonus bets. If you want to learn how to utilize that, jump in the premium Discord. Otherwise, bet 5, get 150 in bonus bets. Pretty unbelievable deal. Only for 21 and over, 18 and over in Kentucky. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks we go. Producer Jacob's mad at me. Detroit, Portland, what are you doing? I'm bringing math into the equation. I apologize. How dare I? I don't want to deal with this one too much. However, there are some places that fired out some numbers, some early numbers here, and then Mr. Can I talk today? What's going on? Well, yeah, I was just talking like for the last 2.5 hours. Playback. Go to hang out there after some of the live before locks. Again, can't talk at all right now. But Victor Wembanyama, questionable for the San Antonio Spurs. Massive implications. I don't know, one of the most impactful players in the NBA already in his rookie season. That give him the trophy. Although we love Chet Holmgren, we very much love Chet Holmgren. The Frenchman has just been outrageous here, and well, this is an outrageous line. Obviously, Portland plus 9.5. It's a disturbing one. I would absolutely be laying the 10.5 here on Phoenix if I knew that Victor Wembanyama was out. And you're going to see this line really react to it. But somebody in Devin Vassell has been playing an ungodly high amount of minutes here of late. And I think you just want to be investing in his points props when they open here at numbers like 19.5. 19.5 in the event that you don't have Mr. Victor Wembanyama on the floor. Again, you're replacing such ridiculous numbers across the board. You're going to get a start from Zach Collins, who's a much lower usage guy, but Victor Wembanyama now on the season, 30% defensive rebound rate, 20% assist percentage, and 31.1% usage. That would all go to our friend Devin Vassell. And if this game stays remotely competitive at any point in time, you are going to see Devin Vassell smash that number here against Phoenix and Friends. So against Phoenix and Friends, that had a nice ring to it. Still begging for that under 48.5 in that second half win total. I've got it projected as like an 86% winner now at this point in time. But again, you don't want to get cocky. Like the over of 19.5 for Devin Vassell, though. What do we got? A couple more games. Let's fly. Memphis and Denver. Yeah. No. Awful. Did you see the box score the other night? We had Reggie Jackson, DeAndre Jordan, inactive, Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic. Heard of them? They're pretty good. Denver still goes out and wins in Portland. Didn't need them. Christian Brown played tons of minutes off the bench. Gotta say, this is another great opportunity. If Denver's trying to limit the minutes for those two specifically, give some more run to Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., make them feel good about themselves coming into the playoffs, well, this is a prime place to do it. I think they play, though. In Denver? Can they really not play back-to-back games here and get away with it? And just like this is basically resting. That's what they did against Portland. This is basically what they're going to do here. 14.5 favorites. I've just gone back and forth on this one so much. Denver minus 14.5. Just a lean. I'm not going to bet it. I have no stand. I have no dog in the fight. This game sucks to bet. Desmond Bain! Is it Gotham's Reckoning going to play? You know what? Next game. We've had a lot of these in recent weeks, and they have been smashes, and I'm happy to bring one to you here. Dallas, 7.5 point favorites in Utah. Big news there. Chris Dunn, he can't start because he can't play basketball tomorrow. Suspended 2 games. He was a bad kid. Again, don't exactly know all of the things and how they went down. All I know is that, like, Chris Dunn is kind of that. I mean, he's supposed to be defensive-centric. It's like what he's, I guess, known for. Then just kind of being an overall disappointment. I'm a Timberwolves fan. It is what it is. But Dallas, they have this Luka Doncic character, and he plays like 38 minutes every single game, 40 minutes every single game, no matter what. 7.5 point favorites. I would say, even with Chris Dunn out here, with Colin Sexton sitting there questionable, and Lauri Markkanen questionable, and Jordan Clarkson questionable, I think this is an opportunity, friends, to get some nice value for a 35 or 40 plus point spot for one Luka Doncic. 1, 234.5. We're looking at a massive pace up spot here. And 2, I mean, we're talking about a guy that it doesn't matter that Kyrie's on the side. Obviously, it matters that Kyrie's playing because otherwise his usage should be like 40+%. He's got the highest usage out of any player in the NBA, 35.7% usage rate, only behind Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid's on the shelf. So it is what it is, friends. Luka Doncic, if he shoots it remotely close to what he's capable of, again, I know he's been down in terms of points of late. This is such a phenomenal pace-up spot for him to just go absolutely ballistic. Only had to play 35 minutes in this exact matchup against Utah at home, but on the road, projects out to be closer, put up to 34. I'm going to be looking at 35 plus. I'm going to be looking at 40 plus. I'm going to be looking at 45 plus and seeing where this ends up landing. But for the time being, lean 35 plus, 40 plus. Want to see where these numbers project? If you want to know if it makes my card, hit me up on Twitter at Eric Lindquist. Happy to let you know. Philly taking on Sacramento and Philadelphia. They played the Lakers pretty close. I thought they had a chance. They covered the 9.5 there. And then, well, they beat the Clippers straight up on Sunday. wild little run out there. Now they headed north to Sacramento. Going to be taking on the Kings on a back-to-back. Not ideal. Not ideal. Malik Monk, we saw the minutes limited there for Sacramento last time out, mainly because he couldn't make anything. Couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. But one game does not a player make. Will say it's got me a little bit, though, interested knowing that, Keon Ellis is going to be playing more and more and more, who does nothing, really. 19, 6, and 5. Don't expect those kind of box scores from Keon Ellis in the starting lineup going forward. He has such low usage. He has such low opportunity for just about anything. It's going to be a lot of 2-3 men game. Keegan Murray from the outside, just to keep people honest. But with Kevin Huerter on the shelf, Keon Ellis been playing big minutes. Obviously, last time out was the best game of his NBA career. I'm not going to say that he is or isn't one specific thing, but they have shown a proclivity to just let him out there and cook. So it's going to create another guy who's lower on the assist totem pole, and that creates interest for Domantas Sabonis triple unders. Triple unders? What am I saying today? Get me out of here. Sabonis triple double. Thinking about it. You should always be thinking about it. He's got the most of them in the NBA, and yes, that's more than Luka, more than Giannis, more than Joker, which is just insane. Sabonis been the triple double king this season. Plays for the Kings, so there's something there. Anyway, last game of the night, let's chat. Let's chat for 2 seconds. Indy and the Clippers, no line, nothing. Indy's playing the Lakers tonight. They're about to tip off. I'm waiting on that. And then we're not going to get this line for a while. And the Clippers just lost to Philly. And do they play everybody on the back-to-back? Does Indy play everybody on the back-to-back? Both these teams on a back-to-back. Clippers got to play in the afternoon. The Pacers had to play at night. They're going to run back-to-back at night. Just the 6-hour, 8-hour difference. Does that help in terms of rest? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to find any data on that one. LOL NBA. Who's excited for MLB on Thursday? This guy. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on Monday. 11 games to choose from. Going to have tons of bets going in the premium Discord. It's our last week of NBA. Well, I can't even say that. MLB starts Thursday. It's not our last week of NBA before MLB starts because MLB starts this week. Check out MLB Lindy's. I'll be firing that up Wednesday night. Have all my sheets updated. Have the home run model all dusted off. No cobwebs on it because it's still pretty hot. It's still pretty hot from last season. I think Mookie Betts had the only home run in Souls, so that was a whole thing. But otherwise, pretty good. It was pretty fun. Yeah. I should probably stop talking now so we are under 30 minutes, right? I think that's how this works. Can't wait to see you guys. Check out Bet365. Check out Odd Shopper down below too. Producer Jacob, thank you so much. Found some good bets already. Found some really good things to throw into it. Again, want to teach you process over picks. Always going to be that way. Love it, but hey, happy to give you some good picks along the way. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Monday.